Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs from GundamReviews.net, and you'll notice that there's no Gundam spinning around there, and that's because in episode 36 of Gundam Age in this third generation, it got stolen. Lots of action and characters packed into this episode, so let's get to the of the week, starting with the Vegans, where they had a pretty good show, with of course, the main bad guy of the whole series, well, until they actually get to meet the big boss, seemingly soon, in the form of Zeehart Galette, who was out there, and in true Zeonic style, he ended up facing off with Xanard, as they were both fighting to further their aims while at the same time taking care of themselves. But Zeehart did a very good job of being the better man and taking one for the team when he had to, while at the same time you know that he seems to have his own game plan in hand, and I can't wait to see how Flam is going to be involved in the whole thing, as he's doing a very good job of getting her motivated and on side. I think this was the most dialogue we've seen from the cool senpai Sarek here, who had a few good moments both in dealing with Flit, who was going off on a tangent as you'll hear about, but also developing his relationship with Captain Moe, who I'd like to say more positive things about. She did stand up to Flit by not doing anything, which I suppose, as they said, is the first step to becoming a true captain. But Sarek showed his leadership skills in calming everybody down and keeping things on a level plane, but he still has a way to go before he's going to be the equal of the true great senpai from the first two generations. Also, we need a clanch. Rhodey Madonna actually had a good chance to have some dialogue and a little tiny bit of development here, although you can tell that his mother is much the worse for wear, considering that she was already, 30-ish in the first generation, and something that I just could not believe in a long tradition of having kids running around the ship getting in trouble. Here they actually served a good moment in getting everybody to calm down as the situation had got pretty tense for a minute. As you may have guessed from the title of the episode, that with a stolen Gundam, well, that involves the fact that Kyo is going to be getting stolen on the inside of it. And all of a sudden you have Grandpa Flit, who's upset both in terms of the fact that their main weapon has fallen into the Vegan hands, the fact that Kyo has the ability to finally end the war in his eyes, bring balance to the Force. Well, at the same time, I just thought Flit, whether you love him or hate him, he certainly seems to be the main character of the whole 50 episodes, despite Kyo's status, or so it would seem. And you could really see the emotion in him, and love him or hate him, he's certainly crossed the line quite a few times in terms of being a little bit over the top, but it was quite believable, and you could see everything from his daughter Yunoa, to Rhodey, to Oda, all the people around him, Albright and the like. Anyway, you could just feel the emotion, and it was good in terms of character development, or so I thought. So my character of the week goes to the old man. On to business, though, with the mobile suit of the week, where you'd like to give it to the Age 3 orbital, but no, because it got stolen. And in the battle that ensued, you could see that we had a few good moments from Albright in his Genoese O custom, although not enough clanch. But the bad guy odd couple of Zeehart and Xanard certainly had their moments in their respective. It was a cool Gundamapedia at the end too, how they talked about, well, once you're a commander, you can do whatever you want. And I've just got an old Gaffran here playing the Zamdrag, the big gorilla one, which certainly had some great moments there as he ended up making the Age 3 look a little bit cheap there as he grabbed him. But they certainly had some good fights, but they were certainly outclassed, at least in the early stages, by a ridiculously beat-up Age 1, because Kyo, once Flit realized at the end of the episode that their target was kidnapping the Age 3 as opposed to just destroying it. Of course, he would have cared just as much about Kyo losing his life that way, but he rushes out in the Age 1 flat, and he's able to take on the two of them, and certainly have a good go at it before losing a leg, losing another leg, losing a shoulder, and most importantly, the one that sealed his fate was with the fact that he lost his spoiler, and I can't help but wonder if this is going to be the Age 1's final hurrah, although you'd imagine that it may make an appearance somehow, some way, in the end of the last episode, you'd suppose. And this ties in directly to Scene of the Week, where one of them for me certainly was early on in the episode when Flit rushes in to save Kyo. Kyo looks to be in trouble before he heads back into trouble again. And all of a sudden you're going to have Flit saying, "Your enemy is this me," in the Age 1 flat, and he takes on the two of them and does an incredibly good job before time and just the age of the Age 1 catches up to him. Which led to one of the more humorous aspects, as once we actually got the Zamdrag to get his hands on the Age 3 for the second time and keep it this time, Flit runs on in the broken Age 1, and you're going to have Zeehart get kicked into battle by the tail of the gorilla as he goes off, and then at the same time realizes that this is for the best, being the cool commander that he is. And I've already mentioned that I really did enjoy the scene where Flit was having his moment both with the captain on the bridge and Sarek before heading down to the hangar, and we got to see the reactions of all the people around him, and then the kids come in and diffuse it. And anyway, just the whole scene had a lot of character etched into the faces, and by etched I mean drawn by the animators. And you know you've got a character-packed episode when I haven't even mentioned the fact that Kyo's father, Asim, is going to have a good moment and a good scene with his father, Flit, as we get to see a little bit more of what transpired between them. Flit's anger that Asim has run away from his responsibilities to the military and to his son and his family. And we also get to see at the same time how much Asim still does care and is looking for this opportunity to go out and rescue the son that he obviously cares for, which sets up some pretty handy camera work on the part of the director there for the anime. Less so here on this part. And despite all those good scenes that we got to see, one of my favorites, and this is how it should be in terms of getting you involved in episodic storytelling, is when you got to see Kyo in jail in the end. The fact that he did pretty much nothing the whole episode except disobey orders, although it was to save his grandfather, it's still just going to set up some excitement as he gets to delve into the vegan world next week, and seeing him in prison was a great way for the episode to end. Overall, I feel like it's been quite a few good episodes in a row as this Age 3 is really picking up steam. The mystery of the pirates and the Visitians, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of the Dark Hound, it seems, next episode. Getting to see Flit interact with Asim, Kyo, and the care that we see between the whole family here. Even a few good moments for the Moe Moe captain. Sadly, we also got to see the unmilfifying of Mrs. Madonna. But something else that really helped this episode through, I thought, is the fact that there was just great background music throughout. The first soundtrack certainly had some good themes on it. I thought that Asim's improved on that. This third generation certainly had some good background music that they can draw from all three generations now. It adds to the story, and just the fact that they're adding in those moments, all of a sudden I've completely forgotten almost about the first and second generation because they're finally doing a good job of getting these third generation characters to start to feel at home. Even the bridge crew getting those odd moments to shine, although at the end, I don't think anybody's going to remember any of their names. Heading into next week though, big stuff as we get to find out more about the Vegans, which will educate Kyo about his enemy, and also get to see a chance for us, the viewers, to go behind enemy lines, which is fantastic. And of course the fact that the Age 3 is going to be stolen and was getting ripped apart as we get to see reverse engineered Vegan style. And you can just imagine how this is going to lead into the future Gundams. And with the Age 1's fate, you've got to wonder what kind of mobile suit Flit's going to be piloting by the end of this show. Anyway, everybody, why don't you let me know your thoughts down below? I've been enjoying this third generation. It's certainly been picking up. But why don't you let me know what you think, and stay tuned next Sunday for another anime review. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.